figured why not like press the button. It's 5:55. Three fives. Well, can't miss it, right? 15:6. Square root. Depending on how you look at it, two or three. And good morning. Good morning. Some kids are home, some kids are not. Whatever it is, make sure whatever you feed them is hot. It is starting to get cool. The change in the weather is crazy, but we knew this, right? It actually almost seems normal because what, maybe about some odd years ago, I'm going to say that the temperature changed as soon as September came. And I think we're almost back to that nostalgic rhythm, but not quite due to some other scientific stuff. So I'm up this morning feeling quite good. Hopefully, everybody has. I got some exercise and did my morning routine, some prayer and stuff. Psalms 10 for anyone who'd like to indulge this morning. I'm actually going to do some different. My first deck was not a deck at all. It was a mindful challenge, a 31-day mindful challenge. And I like the cards because they give you things to do and instructions. And I love that. Yes. And oh, gotta open the tablet. One, two, three. Nope. Start over. One, two, three. Go down. Four, five. Complete. No. Take your time. One, two, three, four, five. There you go. See. Sometimes you gotta take your time and be patient and start over again. It's okay. So, what I would sing about the mindful deck. So independent. He's growing so fast. So I'm going to shuffle for a few. And good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to all that is out and about. I have not had my coffee yet. I do plan to partake. I think I've got some medium roast. I think mocha or caramel, one of them, or both. I don't know. Maybe a double cup. Definitely, definitely. So I'm shuffling the mindful deck, and in this mindful deck, it's not tarot at all. It's just things to be mindful of, mindful exercises and practices, things of that nature. So, good morning, everybody. And I've got mindful love note. Mindful love note. Now, this is the next time you are alone, take out your phone and record a spoken love letter to yourself. Say out loud everything that you love about yourself, your ambitions, your purpose, your strengths, ways you are kind, ways you inspire others, etc. Then listen to it. Listen to it several times over the next week. So this is like a form of self-affirmations that you can make for yourself because only you know the gifts that you have to offer. But it doesn't count if you're always waiting for other people to notice these gifts. You have to notice these gifts and then project these gifts out. That way, people know what you have to offer. It's not always good to hide yourself. It's good to be, let's just say, sure of yourself, but not in an overly way in which is too much bravado. Shoot, be confident, pop your collar, but remind yourself that The pedestal is dangerous. Teeter-tottering could be dangerous. What goes up can fall down. So, after a while, you'll notice something incredible. We mainly seek praise, acceptance, and confirmation from external forces. What if we could hear from ourselves how awesome we are? It might just help you change the way you think. Yep. And let's see what's at the bottom of the deck. This is the top. This is the bottom. The bottom is, what is mindfulness? That's the question is asking. What is mindfulness? Question, can you remember the taste of the first sip of your first drink this morning? I've only had water. Hopefully somebody else has had coffee or tea or something this morning. Or whatever you prefer, but modesty is the policy. Most people turn on autopilot immediately after waking up. While we are in the shower, we are already planning our day ahead. In doing so, countless small things escape our attention. These little things are what makes life so life worthy. Do you ignore little small things that could be of significance? Perhaps it's, I don't know, that car alarm that you kind of ignore, and maybe you should just look out of the window. Not maybe so at the car, maybe it's just something you're not paying attention to. Or when you go out, make sure you check your tires. I don't know what made me think of that. Check your tires, walk around your car before you get in it. Do that. Without touching it first. Walk around your car. I don't know whose neighborhood, who lives where. Just walk around your car. There are a lot of weirdos around. Yeah, pay attention to the small things and pay attention to the positive things as well. Like how good your perfume smells or how good that lotion absorbs into your skin. And should you buy more before it runs out? Some of us run out of the product before we go buy more. Go buy some more. 2 bottles isn't that bad. 3, 4 is kind of excessive because if it gets old before you get to using it, kind of defeats the purpose, the active ingredient, temperature control, that sort of thing. I don't know if anyone needs to hear that. But yeah, mindfulness helps us to live more in the here and now. It is about paying more attention to the little moments. For this purpose, it is important to switch off the inner autopilot and stop the thought carousel. The goal is to develop more serenity to consciously perceive the small wonders of life and to really enjoy them. Small changes in your mindset can have a big impact. Finding the beauty and joy in these little moments can reduce stress, improve confidence, and bring you a happier outlook on life. In other words, be present. Those intrusive thoughts, you don't need them. Bloop. Throw them over. Throw them over. Go away. We need to be more present because, you could worry about the past, but it's done. And you could worry about the future, but it's not there yet. So then you're anxious. So why not take a moment to smell the roses, right? So yeah, this was what is mindfulness. So basically defining what it is to you. What's more important? What should you be thinking of? What is the purpose? So let's shuffle this deck because we had mindful listening at the top. And if that comes back out, then maybe we should be mindful when we listen, right? Not so much as take a dictionary out every time someone speaks, even though some of us should at times, because the definition thing is getting really shaky. Ooh, okay. So we have this little figure here sitting on the bench. Let's figure out. This says worrying won't stop the bad stuff from happening. It just stops you from enjoying the good. Basically, supporting detail to the last card. If you're so worried about the future, you could actually give yourself anxiety. And sometimes that looks like afraid of success, or afraid that you might have to keep up a thing that you've just started. And for some of us, that is anxiety. That gives us anxiety to know that we could do something, but to know that you have to keep it consistent, that can be scary to some. But just know, one step at a time, it can get done. Trust me, I'm proof of that. You can get some things done if you just take one step at a time. So yeah, this is what this looks like. And you see these T figures on the bench. And this means sometimes you need support. Support doesn't always look like what you think it is. It's not always romantic. Sometimes it can be platonic. Sometimes it can come from the opposite sex. It's just support. You need support when you have things to do at times, because no one can really do it alone. Like, you don't go to the bank and talk to yourself when you want to talk to the teller, right? Even though they've tried to make it like that, I don't think it works like that. And when you go to a restaurant, you don't go to the restaurant to serve yourself. Well, you could have stayed home. But in all, you still had to go to the market and purchase from the cashier. There are certain things you just can't do by yourself. You get it? Comprende. You understand. All right. So that's the three cards we have. Mindful love note. What is mindfulness? And this little card here, which I don't know if it signifies isolation or self reflection, but I know it has support on the other side. It's the same card. Okay, so it's at the bottom of the mindfulness deck was in the woods. It didn't say anything. It's just the illustration in the woods. And I remember looking at a picture like this when I was younger. There was a portrait. And I used to stare at this portrait, and it made me feel, if I could look at it long enough or at the right angle, it just made me feel like I was traveling. And it was a more of a bluish background, and it wasn't so much as orangish like this. This kind of like burnt, like gives me like burning or elimination or fire or passion. And this is what the impression it gives me. So let's see what's on the other side of this card. Ooh, interesting. This is an illustration. One side says mine full, the other one says mine full. And there's a big, and I think that refers to those intrusive thoughts that I was referring to earlier. With the intrusive thoughts, sometimes your mind can be filled up with so much things that maybe you should toss them out. That's like baggage, things that don't do anything for your mental health. They don't do anything for your relationships. They don't do anything for you socially. They actually make you quite awkward, not anyone else. It just makes you project on people. Like, you always think other people are awkward, but it might be your disposition, or I don't know how to word it at the moment, but you know what I'm saying. Like, it might be your disposition and you're projecting on others. So everybody else has to appear weird so that you could feel comfortable. So be make sure that you're mindful of having your mind full of intrusive thoughts. That could like complicate things way too much. Come outside of yourself, be present, or take some time to yourself, a walk in the park, a book, something that could get you back into the swing of things. You don't want to be so much in your thoughts that you live in your head and you can't come out and say hi every once in a while. No. So that's this card with these two illustrations. Let's go back to the top. Notice I exercise. I don't know what this means. I am guilty of not doing as much exercise in the last few days. I'll get it back together. So notice I exercise. And this has nothing to do with the exercise that I was just talking about. This is an actual reflective exercise. Today, the whole day. Become aware of every time you use the word I in a sentence. This forces us to focus on how self centered we all are. It could be quite a shock to realize just how many times you use I. You can also keep count. It may be surprising. Is it really all about you? Hmm. Self entitlement. I this, I that. It's me. Uh, uh. Sometimes we get so consumed by our own thoughts that we forget that others have thoughts too. And the attempts to suck up all the space from others can be quite suffocating. So it is good to remember that there are people to the left and the right of you. This also helps in traffic. Yes, you need to go to work. Yes, you have an appointment. Yes, you have this. Yes, you have that. But there are others just like you that have the same goals in mind. So do so safely and mindfully. And there is no I in team. You always want to be cognizant of the fact that you will need support at some point in time, and there are some bridges you don't want to burn. So oh, Boxy, it, it is. I can definitely take your slice of the pie. So, this is what this says. It's very simple. I want to read it again. Notice I exercise today the whole day. Become aware of every time you use the word I in a sentence. This forces us to focus on how self centered we all are. It could be quite a shock to realize just how many times you use I. You can also keep count. It may be surprising. Definitely so. One, two, three, four, five. Oh, one more card. You know, six is my fix. I like six. Okay. I think it's because it's in my name. My name is Alexis, so six is in there. Weird, right? And I used to like the show Blossom, and she used to wear a hat all the time. I didn't even think about that until just now. And her best friend's name was, I think her name was Six. Different. All right. Watch a sunset or sunrise. Hey, for I don't know where you are in this world, but it's about to happen. Watch a sunset or a sunrise. You know, romance isn't just for two, it's also for one. You actually can have romance in your life by yourself. It's called the romance of life. Like the way you apply lotion or take a shower or drink your coffee or take your coffee or garnish your breakfast, uh the way you get dressed, what you choose to put on, the way you choose to part your hair or whatever. It's the romance of it, liking the shade of blue that you do, the navy, or whether it's the slate or the Carolina blue. It's the romantic part of it. It's not just the result, it's the journey. It's the walking past some roses and knowing that they may have a great smell, and then going journeying over there to go and smell them. Something I do recommend. It is quite nice to find a rose. I actually took a visit to the rose garden. Guess it was Flag, and it's like a little flag square downtown. And I went in and I just visited the little rose bushes, and I went. around smelling them, and not all of them smell good. But I found like this nice fuchsia looking rose, and it was at full blossom, and it smelled so good. I know all the bees were jealous of me at that moment. It was exhilarating, and that's what I mean by romance. Romance isn't always a pucker on the outside to some other person or whatever. Sometimes it's just a thought. It's just an action. It's just a moment. It's a movement. Romance is so many things depending on the scope of life you're on. It's tantalizing. Like the romance of reading a book. I love that. That's good for me. The romance of reading a book and dissecting every word and actually loving the information that it's giving you and the picture that it's painting. That is definitely my concept of romance. Sorry if I took you on my own little journey. Am I going in and out? I don't know what's I don't know what that is. I'm gonna leave it at that. It's quite early. What time is it? Okay, well, it's not that early. It's Friday. Either today or tomorrow, take the time to watch a sunset or sunrise. There are a few things more present than the feeling of watching a day start or end. Aside from its natural beauty, the sunset is also a great reminder that each and every day offers us a new end and a new beginning. The romance of it all. Peacefully enjoy the vibrant colors and spirit of the sun and leave your to do list and worries out of the moment. See, be present. And fall is one of the most romantic seasons of all. It's when the chlorophyll begins its process and it changes the leaves and the trees, and when the sun sets and we get Raleigh scatter. I don't know if you need to look that up. Raleigh scatter. It's spelled Raleigh scatter. And some science guys I follow on YouTube. But yeah, it that's the disperse of the blue and the different colors across the sky. That's the effect that's having out in the atmosphere that brings you all these hues of colors. And that's why sunsets are so beautiful. It's the romance of the change, it's the romance of the exchange, it's the romance of the journey. It's just like Raleigh scatter, actually. It's beautiful depending on who finds it valuable. It really is awesome. Just awesome. And that's how I enjoy life. There is a sort of romance to loving life. I guess that makes some of us a hopeless romantic, but there's always hope. So, this has been this section of this live, the mindful cards. Oh boy, I was just about to pick up the deck and I saw this. I don't know if I should pay this any mind, but this is what this is. I don't know what this means for anyone, but this was at the top of the mindful deck. And I was actually done at 6, but this pulled at me for some weird reason. I don't know whose energy is there, but this pulled at me for some weird reason. And this says clear your mind. And this figure says, I have the ugliest toes. There goes those intrusive thoughts. I'm not lying to you. Look, it says clear your mind over here. The television. And she's doing the downward dog yoga. And she says, I have the ugliest toes. I have no idea what this means for anybody, and I'm not going to dissect it at the moment. I'm just like, this is funny to me. Here she is trying to self improve, and it's like the intrusive thought. Let it go. Bag lady, you gonna hurt your back. dragging all those bags like that. Woo! And yesterday I started, I guess, I don't know, running riffs or whatever. I was singing. I guess I was training my voice yesterday. And sometimes I find myself in classical. Sometimes I'm just running runs. And I love it. It's good for it's good exercise. But one thing I do like to do, I like to put on music and do my own ad libs. And them songs be fire when I get done with them. Not that they don't be fire when I start singing, when they singing by themselves. Like I be ad libbing for Usher sometimes. I just know I'm singing background, but I don't be there with them. I just be in my house. But I be them songs be lit by the time I get finished. And it's like I get more into it. I have a bunch of fun in here. If I keep my heart locked in its vault. Oh, oh, oh. Yeah. Oh, it's time that I feel alone. And there's times that I don't want you to call my phone. I'm not lonely, I'm just alone. But yeah. I was gonna do some cars this morning, but lost it in the shuffle. Talk to you a little bit later. Alex and I are gonna go get some breakfast, and I'm gonna finish off that juice. By the way, did I tell you that juice was good? Good, very cleansing, but it was good. That celery hit different in that turmeric. All right, so sing to you later, chat to you later. Mwah.